Hello friends, welcome. In today's video, I will discuss about how to change configurations in Beego application. Friends, here I have already created a Beego application. If you don't know how to create a Beego application, I will put a link in the description. You can watch that video. Friends, in this video, I will discuss three things. The first thing is how to change configuration in Beego application. Then how to create our custom configuration file, and then how to use any custom parameter that we define in configuration file. So let us start one by one. Friends, first of all, when you create Beego application, then in the conf directory, a file has been created, that is app.conf file. When you click on this file, here you will get some configuration parameter. These parameters have already been defined here. So for example, here HTTP port is 8080. So when you run this application, the application will start on 8080. To run this application, let us run this command brun. So after running this command, we can see that HTTP server running on HTTP 8080. Even if you remove this parameter, then also application will be started on this same port. So let us again run this application brun. So again we can see that HTTP server running on HTTP 8080 it means 8080 is the default port of this Beego application. Now suppose if we want to start our application on some other port, for example 8081, so in that case let us change this HTTP port to 8081 and then again let us start our application. But before that, first of all we have to close the server. For that, Control C, and then again let us run the command brun. So we can see that our application has been started on 8081 this time. Now the second thing is how we can use our own custom configuration file. This app.conf file is the default configuration file. So for that, let us create a configuration file in the same directory. You can create your own directory also, but here I am using the same directory conf. So let us name the file as application.conf, and in this let us define this HTTP port as 8081. So when you run this application will start on 8080. It means application has not been started on 8081 because it is not picking up application.conf file as the configuration file by default. So how we can load this application.conf file? For that, let us go to main.go file. Here you have to use a function load app config. So for that, beego dot load app config. Here it will accept two parameters. First of all, we have to pass the adapter name, which is ini, and then the name of the file. Basically here we have to pass the path of the file. So conf slash application.conf. Now this time we can see that HTTP server running on port 8081. It means it has started picking up this application.conf file as the configuration file. So again, if we let us change to 8085, this time again let us run this application, and again we can see that the HTTP server running on port 8085. So this way we can create our own configuration file. Now suppose if we want to define our own custom configuration parameter. So for example, if we define parameter as name debug boss, and suppose if we want to fetch this parameter in the application, so for that we have to use a function that is available in the app config. So for that, Beego dot app config dot, here basically we are setting the name as a string, so we can use here a string and then name. It will return two things. The first thing is the name and second thing is the error. So first of all we have to handle the error. So if error is not equal to nil, so in that case let us simply print something. Otherwise we can print now we can see that name is debug boss. Basically it is picking up the name from this application.conf file which we have passed here. So suppose if you change this name as Beego Beego framework tutorial, and now suppose if we want to fetch this variable, so first of all we have to close the server and let us again we start our server. So we can see that this time name is Beego framework tutorial. So this way we can create our own custom parameters in the configuration file. So that's all for this video. I think this video will be helpful for you. Thanks.